Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Cop It or Drop It, where I go over this week's new comic book day book releasings that I'm going to either cop or pick up, or I'm going to drop it from my pull list. And this week we might actually have some droppable candidates, but we're going to get into it. I'll be back in 5 seconds. Yo, so welcome back, guys. Like I said, my name is Edwin, the Comic Jabroni, and this is episode 3 of Cop It or Drop It. We are going to talk about this week's releases of June 10th. We have Marvel dropping some books this week. There's some indie titles. DC's got some big ones. Big ones coming out this week. And there's been some news with DC. They have dropped Diamond as a distributor. They have pulled out of the Diamond Accords. Little comic reference there. So I don't know how that's going to play out going into the future. As of right now, I think they're still using Diamond for this week, possibly next week, but more than likely this might be the last week that Diamond distributes DC, and we'll see what happens after that. It has been a crapshoot with me and getting DC on Wednesdays, the shop that I go to here in Augusta. Yo, DC has been like hit or miss. One week I'll go in and the books won't be there and I have to wait until Thursday, or sometimes they're there a day early. It's really weird, and I hope DC gets this figured out. I am not a fan of DC using Midtown Comics and DCBS as a distributor for their comics, because all that's doing is making local comic shops in your area have to go to their competitor to get comic books, which is really weird. It's like Lego telling Target that they won't ship them Legos anymore, that they now have to go through Walmart to purchase whatever Legos they want in their store. Yeah, kind of weird. I don't know how that's all going to play out. This is what a lot of people wanted in the comic community, to tell you the truth. They didn't want Diamond to have a monopoly, but they also didn't want DC to just go and use a competitor of a local comic shop. So all really weird, guys. I don't know how it's all going to play out. I just hope that I get my damn books on Wednesdays going forward. So as you could tell, I, as always, use Midtown Comics. Which is funny because I don't want DC to use Midtown Comics, but I will use the hell out of this website to just look at the books that are coming out this week, because it's a really easy website to navigate. And it shows you what books are coming out and what covers are coming out and who's writing it and who's the artist on it. So that's really cool of the Midtown website. So here we go. We're going to get into it. We're going to start with DC. And the first book that I'm looking at from DC is Batman: The Adventures Continue, issue number 1. I absolutely love this B cover from Dan Mora. Check that out. Dan Mora has some amazing artwork. A couple weeks ago, of Dan Mora cover art for Justice League was my cover of the week. I absolutely loved it, and this one is, no exception at all. So, Batman Adventures Continue, written by Paul Dini and Alan Burnett, and the artwork is done by Ty Templeton. This same crew that did the old Batman Adventures back in the 90s. So it's cool that they're kind of restarting this animated series in comic book form and giving us some new stories. So I'm all into that. There is a regular cover. Let's just see if it pulls up, which is a super awesome cover as well. Yo, the Comic Jabroni might be coming out of this with both these covers. I'm not going to lie. Let's keep it going, though. We're going to move into Batman issue 92. Now, I know a few months ago this one was picking up so much heat, and it hadn't even been out yet because we were supposed to find out, I think, in issue 92 more about the designer and more about Punchline. I'm picking up just the regular A cover. This is done by Yasmin Putri. This is written by James Tynion IV. The artwork is done by Jorge Jimenez. Now, I know that there's a B cover coming out, and I'm going to pull it up right here. A lot of people are going to be out there hunting for this Art Germ cover of Punchline. In my opinion, it's okay. I've seen better covers from Art Germ. I like the A cover more. Usually, when it comes to any type of spec heat that we might see with a comic book, it's usually the A cover that pops off. Now, Are there exceptions to the rule? Of course there is. I just don't feel like this is going to be that one, although I think this is her first cover appearance, so, you know, take that with it what you will. I will probably just be grabbing the A cover on it, but this is continuing on with that whole Joker War story. So I'm all in on that. Let's keep going. Talking about the Joker, we have the Joker 80th anniversary 100-page super spectacular, which is crazy because last week we just had the Catwoman super spectacular. Which was a really good book, and what I liked about that is they did the decades on the covers, right? You had your 40s, 50s, all the way up until the 2000s. This Joker ones, on the other hand, they're not doing that. They're just A cover is going to be somebody, the B cover, but they're not doing a theme as far as decades. The one that I like the most is this cover done by Jock. I absolutely love Jock's artwork, and I love Jock's artwork on. Am I wrong? I see here down at the bottom it says 2000s. So maybe they are doing decades. I think I'm wrong on that. Oh, Comic Jabroni's wrong. There you go. 2010's variant cover. So maybe they are doing decades. I didn't think they were, because looking through them, it didn't look like. But I'm looking over here and it says 1950s by David Finch. I don't know, maybe because it just doesn't seem to me like a 1950s cover of the Joker. But when you looked at like the Batman and you looked at Superman or Action Comics, Detective Comics, you looked at Catwoman, those you could tell the covers were very distinct as far as what decades. So, you know, that's wrong on me. But to tell you the truth, like, look at it. It doesn't look any... that could pass as a 2010s cover to me, 2000s cover. So anyway, I will be picking up the Joker 80th anniversary. Guys, like I said with Catwoman last week, pick the one that you like. I don't see any spec coming out of this. I don't think anything big is going to happen with this book. But being a Joker fan that I am, I have to get this book. I want to read the stories that are going to be in here about the Joker. It is written by various writers, and the artwork's going to be various. So there's going to be like maybe 9 or 10 stories in there, and they're all going to be done by different writers and artists. That's awesome. I love it. It is a $10 price tag on there, so be wary. If you want more than one cover, you're going to be paying, you know, a lot of money for it. So that's it from DC. I'll tell you the truth right now. I went through Marvel, and I didn't see anything I liked. There was nothing. I am dropping all of Marvel this week. There is nothing that I want from Marvel. But let's move into Image, and on Image, there's a new #1. And it's called Adventure Man #1, written by Matt Fraction. The artwork is done by the Dodsons, Terry and Rachel Dodson. And look at this cover, done by the Dodsons as well. Gives you that old 1940s movie poster vibe, right? I love that. And just reading the description on it about this mother and son who really look up to this older movie actor that people have kind of forgotten about, and now, you know, they're remembering more about him. I'm all in on this. This seems like the plot of a TV show or a movie that could be made. Image #1s, guys, sometimes they're hits, sometimes they're misses. I don't really care in this instant. I really want to read this. So this is one coming out this week. It has a $4 price tag from Image, guys. So for all of you out there that love just picking up Image #1s, there's an Image #1 for you. And the next book from Image, there's 3 books I'm grabbing from Image this week. The next one is Excellence, issue #7. This is the A cover, written by Brandon Thomas. Artwork is done by Carrie Randolph. I'm going to show you this cover right here. I have been such a fan of Excellence since I picked up that first issue last August or so. I was like 3 or 4 issues late on getting into Excellence, but I'm so happy that I was able to find a first printing of Excellence #1. There was a lot of spec heat behind Excellence when it first came out because it was supposedly optioned. They were going to make a Netflix movie or a TV show out of it, and I absolutely would love to see that out of this comic. It is a comic book based in a magic world, except the magic world is the world that we live in. And then there's these magicians that can only be men. Out of all of these magicians, only men can use magic and have wands. So that brings up a lot of a lot of bad blood between the men and the women in this magical world, and it is an excellent story. It's great, guys. I highly suggest picking up the trade for the first, that trade volume 1 for excellence and reading it. It is amazing, and every time you pick one up, right on that first page kind of gives you a breakdown of this world and what the rules are, because there are 4 rules that all magicians must abide by, and kind of let you know what's been happening. I love that about comics when they do that, especially with excellence, because it hasn't come out in probably like 4 or 5 months. It took a hiatus after issue 6, so I'm glad to see this one back. New story arc, as you can tell right here, it says new story arc, so I'm all in on it. Again, $4 price tag. Let's keep it going with another Image book coming out, and that is Undiscovered Country. This is the A cover, written by Charles Soule and Scott Snyder. The artwork is done by Jessup Camuncoli and Leonardo Marcello. I'm grabbing the A cover. I'm a fan. I like it. I like those blues in there with the purple kind of red down at the bottom. Undiscovered Country. This is the end of the first story arc. It's been a while since I've read Undiscovered Country because of this whole COVID and the coronavirus, the Diamond shutting down. They haven't been pushing new books out. So it's been about 2 months since I've read Undiscovered Country. So I'm really excited to get back into this world of Undiscovered Country and having America close its borders off, and nobody's been to the United States of America. And I think it was like over 30 years or something, or it was just a great story, man. Charles Soule, Scott Snyder, they were kicking ass with this one. We have one more, a true indie, in my opinion. This is a true independent book, and it is from artists, writers, and artisans. AWA, Old Haunts, issue number 1. It is written by Ollie Masters, Rob Williams, artwork Lawrence Campbell, and Lee Luffridge. Check this cover out. That's a bad cover right there. I love New York City. In the background, you have the 3 mobsters, but then underneath them, you've got some skeletons hanging there. I'm all in on an awesome mobster story, and that's what I want. AWA has been absolutely killing it with their recent titles. They're a brand new publishing company, and they have been absolutely murdering the comic industry, man, with just the greatness that they've been putting out. I know Perry Comics, my boy Dylan, and I believe who else has been in on AWA? There's been a couple others that have absolutely, but Perry was really the first one to tell me, dude, you have to be reading AWA books, and I'm all in. I love this, guys. But that's all the books that I'm picking up. That's the books that I'm copping this week, guys. As far as drops, Marvel. I am dropping Marvel for now. There's nothing coming out this week that tickles my fancy. Now I know there's Daredevil coming out this week, and as much as I've enjoyed reading that Daredevil run on the Marvel Unlimited app, I'm not picking up the single issues because I have not been picking them up. I'll just wait the 6 months for the issues to come out on Marvel Unlimited. I know as far as indies go, if we move over to the indies, if I go down, Artemis and the Assassin, I read the first issue. That was really good, but it wasn't good enough for me to say, hey, I want to cop that. So I am dropping Artemis. If we keep going, that's an awesome cover right there. Neil Adams homage. Faithless, the second volume, I'm done. I picked up the first volume of Faithless, and it was hot doo-doo water. And really the only reason I picked it up because I guess I'm a dirty old man and I was getting those nasty adult-only covers. And no, I'm not doing that again. Not doing it again. What's the one I know everybody's going to be getting this week? And that is, if we scroll down, I know it's down here. Something is Killing the Children from Boom Studios. I have not been grabbing that. I read issue 1. Wasn't my thing. Oh yeah, so there it is. It's an Image book, Philadelphia, issue number 6. I know my homies over in Lost in Comics, they absolutely love Philadelphia. I read the first issue, and I thought it was a great concept, cool, but again, not my thing. I dropped it. I'm not going to be reading the rest of it, but if you're into it, guys, Philadelphia is coming out this week. But let me talk to you about my cover of the week. Now, this is a book, this is a series I don't know anything about. I have not been picking it up, but I know the last one that came out, the variant, was super, super hot, right? That Bitter Root. But this week, this cover is dope. Yo, Bitterroot issue number 8, that Purple Rain homage is beautiful. And if you see this, guys, pick it up, because that last variant that came out for Bitterroot blew up. I mean, blew up. And I believe it was an incentive variant. But it's still, I mean, it's going for 10 times whatever the incentive was. This is a straight regular variant cover. So if you see it, I highly suggest picking this one up, man. That Purple Rain cover is mind-blowingly beautiful, guys. So I would definitely suggest getting that. But that's what I got this week. I will be right back.
It's sometime in the future. The ultimate challenge. Crossfire. Crossfire. You get caught. Crossfire. Crossfire. You get caught. Crossfire. 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 You'll get caught up in it.
And we're back. Oh, guys, Crossfire. I remember that commercial in the 90s, and I never had an opportunity to play that. But I think one of my homies, I remember going to his house and being able to play it, and it wasn't as cool as that commercial really made it out to seem. But hey, guys, thanks for watching the video. Cop it or drop it, episode 3. This is for June 10th of 2020. What books are you picking up this week? What books are you copping that I'm not picking up? And what books out of what I have are you just dropping that you don't want anything to do with, you don't want to read? But guys, thanks for watching the video. I'm Edwin, the Comic Jabroni. Definitely check out the other videos in my YouTube library and hit the subscription button if this is your first time watching. But till next time, peace.